welcome back to my channel. So I just announced that I am using the CMEC, the Charlotte Mason Educational Center, again next year with my daughter. She will be in the Form 1A program, and so we just completed, well, almost will have completed Form 1B in just a few weeks here. It was our first year using the CMEC, so I wanted to film a comprehensive video on what is the CMEC, why did I join versus other programs, what kinds of things do they offer that I feel have been valuable for my family, and I guess just an overall comprehensive review on why I feel like we're sticking with them and why I feel like other families that want a Charlotte Mason education for their children should join the CMEC too. So today I'm going to share all of that here. If you have been wondering about the CMEC, I've gotten so many DMs and emails and questions about the CMEC, so I'm going to just spill all of that here in this one video, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you. If you're on the fence and you've already kind of decided, or if you've already signed up to be a member of the CMEC, go check out all of my videos that I filmed last August. I want to say it was August, September. I filmed how I set up my timetable, which is essentially just a schedule for your family, how I set up my logbook to plan out my lessons each week after we complete a week of lessons. I shared all of that stuff over there on my, it's on my channel, and I have different videos, so if you look at that, hopefully those are helpful for you. I plan on sharing lots more once we complete the school year, and I also did a quick little how I teach reading to my daughter video. She'll be 7 in May. Okay, so let's dive in to everything CMEC. A lot of people will see me share, okay, what curriculum do you use? Oh, you use the CMEC. What does that mean? Is it a workbook you buy? Is it fully Charlotte Mason? I see there's a fee, but do you get things with it? I want to clear all that up for you. So before I begin, I just want to let you know a little bit about the CMEC. The Charlotte Mason Educational Center was born out of a small co-op started by Amy Snell and her family, and they were just a few moms on the East Coast that started sharing Charlotte Mason's philosophies amongst each other. They formed a small co-op and then ended up starting a blended learning model school called the Mason Academy. And so that, I believe they still meet. But that is their whole situation over there. They create programs based on Charlotte Mason's original programs with the PNEU. And if you're not familiar with all this stuff, this is all Charlotte Mason speak. Go read Home Education and go Google Charlotte Mason and you'll learn more about her. But if you're already familiar with Charlotte Mason, that is how the CMEC was born. So what happened is Amy, with the Mason Academy, ended up opening up the program guides to the online world. So people all over the US, all over the world could use the CMEC's program guides. So things like the Bible curriculum that they're using, the commentary they're using, the history books they're reading, the history cycle they're going through, the composer study, the artist study, all of that stuff was streamlined through Amy and her group's planning, and they kind of turned it into a little curriculum. But it also gives you a lot of freedom. Now, with a true Charlotte Mason education, you are reading constantly to your child. It is not a sit down, do the workbook, drill, kill type situation. So if you're familiar with Charlotte Mason, you know that. But basically, the CMEC, so that's how they were born, and I think it's, I want to say 4 or 5 years now where people have been able to join the membership. So you pay $300 a year, and that is for your whole family. So if you have 6 kids, you get 6 program guides. If you are have 2 kids like me, I have my one child who's school age, and then there's a Kinderleben guide that I use for my almost 4-year-old. So you pay one fee for your whole family, which is wonderful. I think a lot of people get confused by that. But after you pay the fee, obviously your program guide is going to have book recommendations and curriculum recommendations that you're also going to purchase. So with that $300 though, aside from the program guides, you get a lot more. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means when you're paying for that membership fee. It's not like another curriculum where you just go online, you see the book recommendation list, and that's it. The CMEC is really just, as I have used them and worked with them and worked alongside those mothers that are using the CMEC, I found a really huge community aspect to it, and I have found that I've grown a lot as an educator and as a mother. So here are a few things the CMEC offers that I find to be unique to their membership and their model. Right off the bat, when you join the CMEC, you have this member area, and there's different areas. There's like a bulletin board where you can find other CMEC groups that are meeting. I'm actually starting a CMEC Truth, Beauty, Goodness group in my area, and they provide resources for you to be able to do that. They offer, you know, training and education in just motherhood and in how to be a teacher. But the community aspect has been wonderful because I'm able to find other moms and connect with other moms that are interested in educating their children in a Charlotte Mason, with a Charlotte Mason philosophy. So the member discussion area is wonderful. They call it La Pianta. There's a monthly newsletter, and I found Celeste and Amy to both be invaluable resources. They have children all the way from high school down to age 2. I think Celeste's youngest is 2. I mean, they are just wonderful educators, wonderful mothers who have been using the Charlotte Mason philosophies from the beginning, even if they haven't always used the CMEC. They kind of turned what they were doing into the CMEC. And kind of gave all of what they've learned through studying Charlotte Mason and that real life experience, and it's really cultivated this amazing curriculum program. So the community support, that's number 1. I have a little list of things here, sorry if I'm looking this way, but it's helpful. Okay, and then the support for mom and or the educators. You guys, I'm not going to name names, but there's a reason that I didn't choose a couple of other curriculums that are very largely Charlotte Mason based. And the reason is, it is my first year homeschooling, and even though I'm an educator, I have a master's degree in education, but I wasn't trained in the Charlotte Mason philosophy. Do I want to be a professional and an expert in her philosophy? Yes. And the CMEC leadership, they are experts. And what I love about them is that they're humble and they're open to growing, but they really truly are experts. And it's been wonderful to have them share the resources that they found with us as mothers. There are courses that you can take. Right off the bat, I signed up for the Mother's Education course, which is amazing. There's little coursework you read, and then there's live meetings that you can attend with CMEC community members, with the founders. And so I loved that. I loved the art instruction course because as a new Charlotte Mason educator, I had to learn how to teach an art lesson with Charlotte Mason's philosophies in mind. You know, I know how to teach a little drawing lesson, but do I know how to do it in a way that I'm making sure my child's narrating, in a way that I'm making sure she's enjoying it, in a way that I'm using that mind, that memory, model, imagination. I mean, these are all things that Charlotte Mason really goes into in her volumes, but it's kind of compacted here into this course, this art instruction course, and it was a really huge resource for me, and it's how I've been able to teach my daughter how to do clay work and how to do chalk drawing and how to sit and learn how to brush draw, and so I've been creating lessons based on that wonderful course that they created and made available to us as part of our membership fee. They actually host a fall retreat. And so this past fall, they focused on composition. And if you're familiar with Charlotte Mason, you'll know that narration is just the beginning of composition. Remember those essays you had to write in college? I wrote many of them as an English education major. And composition is just this, it's very, very important, obviously. But they took the fall retreat topic, composition, and they turned it into a course. So you can take that course, and this is all free, and learn and grow and develop as an educator, because children aren't the only ones that can learn in a Charlotte Mason way. Adults, we are always growing, we are always learning, and she teaches us how to learn and how to live, and it's just wonderful. So, okay, so yeah, there's the fall retreat, and I believe there's also summer retreat as well. So there's those, and I think the retreats, if you attend them live, you have to pay, obviously, but if you want to watch them, they make them available on the CMEC website, and I have watched all of them to date that they have available there. So, okay. What else do you get with the CMEC? You get the program guides, and I will go through that in just a minute. That's the main curriculum, but with the program guides, you get a shopping list for each form, a comprehensive program guide for every single subject that your child will need and that Charlotte Mason covered in her original programs, which is why I love the CMEC. They are the closest thing that I have found to Charlotte Mason's original methods, and that's why I use them over another Charlotte Mason program. So they have the composer study, the artist study, the Truth, Beauty, Goodness songbook is made available via PDF. They also have a printable version you can buy for your children. I bought 2 for our family this year. But they compile it all for you, and it's included in your membership if you want the PDF. And that has poems, for recitation lessons, it has songs. They teach you how to do a recitation lesson. They teach you how to do a geography lesson in a Charlotte Mason manner. They teach you how to do a history lesson. They teach you how to do a natural history lesson. They also have hymn and folk song recommendations in the Truth, Beauty, Goodness guide as well. So that's all in the curriculum. And then some of the other resources that I really love that they offer are the singing games and supplements aspect. So Charlotte Mason recommended that children in Form 1, which is what my daughter's in right now, have a 30-minute singing, play, and drill block in their lesson time. Their lessons are only 2.5 hours in the mornings, and that's it. And then afternoons are spent doing afternoon work, afternoon occupations, and free time. So the singing games and supplements is wonderful. The CMEC chooses singing games for us. My daughters and I have just really enjoyed it. It's been a total joy for us to do them together. We've learned how to do the Virginia reel, the heel toe polka. We learned how to waltz, and even my husband got to get in on it. It's been wonderful. It's such a good resource for them to offer to us. And we've done, like I said, some folk dances. And then I really love the modern language supplement aspect. So we have a modern language program, our French program, that I really love. It's from Cherrydale Press, and I shared a little bit on Instagram about that. We also have the modern language block, and so we'll practice our French series from Cherrydale Press. And then there's also 3 French stories the CMEC provides with like videos, and then you can choose to buy the book as well if you want your child to follow along. But we read Goldilocks and the 3 Bears for term 1. Or I'm sorry, term 2. The Little Red Hen was term 1, and my children learned how to read it in French. So there's a little video and a playlist that Amy provides for the school year, and there's several playlists that she provides. There's the hymns and folk songs playlist, the composer study playlist, there's the modern language playlist, and the dances playlist, and the singing games playlist. So all of that we got access to, and we were able to use that in our lesson time during our drill and play block, and then during our modern language block. So we got to read our French story, and then we chose a French folk song and then a French vocabulary song per term. And so anyway, I'm getting into it. I'm getting deep into explaining to you why the CMEC is so wonderful. And this is just my experience. I know that they have high school chemistry guides available. They have a special study for nature study that the whole CMEC participates in. I believe that's supposed to start in Form 2, but they encourage Form 1 families to participate as well. You guys, I could go on and on. I'm not even kidding you. The CMEC is so wonderful, but so that's a lot of the stuff they provide. I hope it's okay that I'm sharing this with you. I printed everything off in the beginning of the year, but I also have access to it all via the website. Now, I do want to share with you quickly a few of my questions that I've been getting very often on Instagram. I'll have you guys kind of ask me, hey, I know you have to pay $300. How much did it cost on top of the $300 for books, for instance? So I have a little frequently asked questions section that I'm going to start right now.